Hello and welcome to day number 8 of my 12th birthday countdown. I'm Dr. Tasia White, and today's hard truth is about intuition. In a previous video in this series, I talked about growing up and not being able to understand some of the experiences related to feeling the tension and emotions of others. I didn't know what intuition was when I was younger. I didn't know what being an empath was. And so that created some unique experiences for me growing up because I was having these experiences but didn't necessarily know how to process them. Fast forward to today, I now understand what they are and can fully navigate those experiences. However, it wasn't until maybe 2020 that I really started to develop that understanding. And so prior to 2020, the concept of intuition was never really part of my stratosphere. It wasn't something that I really talked about. It was sort of this woo thing that existed. While I didn't necessarily believe in coincidences, I also didn't know what intuition was. When I think back to some earlier experiences, I can say, oh, okay, that was my intuition coming into play at that time. One example that comes to mind is in 2018, I remember this experience that left a lasting impression because it was so random and I really didn't know what it was. I was on a conference call with my colleague and a vendor. We were acquiring new software and needed weekly calls with this vendor for integration. I remember one call where my colleague and I were in my office wrapping up the call, and the representative that we were working with said, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be here for our next call, but you'll be working with my colleague. And we were like, no problem. We had worked with that person in the past, didn't see any issue with it. And then shortly after he said that, something went off in my head that said, he's getting married. Prior to that moment, what we had shared with each other was very impersonal, just general, here are some things I've done in my career, or here are some things that I've worked on. There was never anything interpersonal shared. And so there would be no way for me to know that he was getting married. But sure enough, a few moments later, he's like, yeah, I'm getting married next week. And so I'm going on my honeymoon next week, and that's why I won't be here. And we were like, oh, okay, congratulations. But in my head, I was sort of like, holy crap, how did I know that that's what he was going to say? And I just remember that being such a weird experience and not being able to explain it. And so I just sort of kept it in my memory bank as this interesting experience that I had. And then fast forward to 2020, as I started to learn more about intuition and what that may look like, and just continue to grow my understanding over the years, I was sort of like, okay, that's what that was. It was weird in the moment because I had never experienced anything like that before. But now I could sort of categorize it as this intuitive experience. I don't know why I had it. I don't know why it came to me. It just did. So when it comes to intuition, I feel like a lot of my understanding of what it was came from the media. It came from television and film, which tends to be very exaggerated. And so the possibility that intuition could be just this random thought that comes to mind never really occurred to me. I also feel like because of these outside perceptions of intuition, it caused me to doubt myself and doubt what I was experiencing. Because of the doubting, I was losing out on opportunities to grow my understanding and expand my intuition. Now that I have a deeper understanding and have been more intentional about cultivating it instead of denying or doubting myself, I find it to be a very useful tool, whether it be in understanding like vibes that I'm picking up from other people, or when someone comes to my mind, it's an opportunity to reach out because there may be something going on with them. And 9 times out of 10, that has been the case. Or even in my dreams, I've had some very interesting dreams. I haven't always been able to make sense of them. When it comes to intuition, because of these exaggerated perceptions that we see in film and television, I feel like that's done intentionally to make us question whether or not something we are experiencing is intuitive. And it's also not a situation where certain people have intuition and certain people don't. We're all intuitive in some way, shape, or form. It's just a matter of how much we actually pay attention to it and whether or not we're cultivating it. Just like any other muscle, intuition is something that needs to be exercised. And so the more that we actually pay attention to it, listen to it, actually follow through on what our intuition is telling us, the stronger it becomes. And I feel like there are people who maybe will disagree with this because the idea of being intuitive may seem scary or unnatural, but if you've ever had a gut feeling about something, if you've ever had that experience where someone came to mind and you felt the need to call them, and when you did, they were in need, or if there's ever been a situation where you were away from home driving and something told you to turn back and then you discovered you left the coffee pot on or something, that's our intuition. And we all have it. It's not something scary. It's meant to help keep us grounded and connected to the present. There's nothing to be afraid of when it comes to intuition because it's just our body helping us along the way. In terms of my own journey with intuition, I would say that it was never a situation where I was afraid, even with some of my weird dreams. It was more so me questioning, like, is that really true? And then later on finding out, oh, okay, yeah, I was right. I found a benefit to paying attention to my intuition because I'm not blindsided or surprised when certain things happen. It's like, okay, yeah, I anticipated that. Or, all right, I could see that because my intuition opened me up to that possibility. And so that is it for today's Heart Truth. I will see you here tomorrow for day number 9.